you have any idea that at present what is the market scenario? Particularly this year, your final year batch, your immediate senior batch, they are already appearing in different drives. So do you have any idea that what are the things which that happening? Uh, not even in your institute, not in institute, but across in other colleges. What is the present scenario? Anyone? Do not hesitate. Whatever you feel, you can say free. Because when I'm talking about the campus preparatory session, this training, I must give an overview of the campus recruitment process, marketing, everything. Then I must start my class. So, because this is the first class, an introductory class, I just like to listen from you. What idea you are having. You must be talking with some of your seniors. I'm sure. So, what news you have regarding this year's campus trip? Anyone? Anyone? Any idea? Do not hesitate. Whatever you feel, you can. My mic is problem. Voice is coming right disturb. Okay, just a second. Let me change. Okay. Is it better now? Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
এখন
sir, far
ভালো?
better.
ঠিক আছে. Okay, okay, fine. So, anyway, so I was talking about this training. So, as an introductory portion, so do you have any idea that what is the present recruitment scenario for these year students, the on campus which is going on? This is a very, informal discussions before we start the training. Anyone? Well, let me tell you honestly that this year the scenario is not so encouraging. For the last few years, whatever we are seeing, even last year and the last of last years, the type of campus recruitment we had, not only we had, almost all colleges used to have. This year, the scenario is quite down for all the institutes. I don't know whether you're keeping news or not. A recession is going on throughout the world. It started from USA and then it spread over UK, different countries of UK. And it started with the slowdown of the banking sector of USA. And then it goes on. And different countries, particularly from the West, they are very much affected due to this recession. And as a consequences, different other parts of our world, especially the Indian IT market, they are also getting effect of it, rather the adverse effect on it. So see, no one has the control over market. If the market is down, for every industry, for every market, there is always an up and down. And this is a tremendous downfall which is happening. Sometimes the market is very open, the fundraising market is very up. At that scenario, most of the companies used to come, visit and recruit students. Significant number of students get recruited. Sometimes the market is down, but this time, after 2008, the market scenario is worst. It started around 2022 November onwards. That means almost last 1 year back, this recession in USA started. And for the last 1 year, you know, uh, it spread across many countries and which is making a direct relationship regarding the projects budget of different IT organization. New projects are not coming. Present project budgets are getting down. And as a consequences of this downfall in their business, most of the big companies this time are not opening up. They are not open for the recruitment. So all the big MNCs, whether you name TCS, CTS, Mindtree, Capgemini, most of them, except few, most of them, this year they did not had any campus drive in any institute, except some premium government institute Otherwise, for the private institute, as far as the West Bengal is concerned, not only for our group of colleges, but TCS is not going to have campus drive for this year. Same for Capgemini and many others, Wipro, etc. So that's what I am saying, that this year campus scenario is not at all encouraging. I think in 2008 you were in school, if I'm not wrong, maybe in class one or two. So after 2000, in 2008, Indian IT market faced recession for the first time, and this up and down is always there in every market. And after 15 years, this huge impact of recession, is making a dark, uh, what I say, making a dark zone for the recruitment this year. So now, why I'm saying all these things to you? I'm saying all these things to you to make you clear about the picture. The recession is lasting for about last 1 year. We do not know that how long it will last. Now, everyone is hoping, rather assuming that in upcoming 3 to 6 months, the situation will be quite better. The situation will improve. But exactly when the situation will be improving, no one can predict, right? But one thing for sure, whatever is the situation is, if the situation is very tough like this year, or the situation improves, if the situation improves, if these dark phases are over, then obviously slowly the companies will be opening up for the recruitment process. And if the company starts their recruitment process, particularly the big ones, those who take maximum number of students, if the company opens up for the recruitment process, then there will be ample opportunities for you in your time. Because in our JIS group, we have seen that most of the recruitment starts from in the month of August, on an average August. Sometimes the recruitment starts from July, sometimes the recruitment starts from September, it may be delayed. But on an average, August, September is the time from where the on-campus recruitment process starts. So if you target August as the starting point of the recruitment process, and this is the almost the third week of November or the end of November, if you see, so you have around 9 months or 9.5 months in your hand for the preparation of the campus interview process. And believe me, this 9 and 9.5 months is not a huge time that you are having. And that's why at the middle of this semester, rather at the end of this semester, we are starting this training session to make you aware about that what is happening and what are the things you need to prepare and plan. Because when it's a campusing, a lot of factors are involved there. I think many of you are having some idea, but still, because it's a first class, I try to elaborate each of these points first. Number one, in these 9 months, though we are saying that we are having 9 to 9.5 months, but actually you're not having, because in between you have 2 semester examination, the upcoming odd semester, and the next semester you have even semester examination, practical examination, unit test, skill X, different other events you have like sports, fest and other events. সবকিছুই থাকবে. So effectively you may get 6 to 7 months, not even 9 months, right? If you actually calculate that effective time is what? That is around 6 to 7 months you are having for the preparation of the campus interviews. And that is not a huge time. Again, I'm saying, because though it's a technical training, I'll be I'll be taking care of these technical parts of the campus recruitment process. But campusing is not only about the technical things, it involves a lot of other things. First of all, aptitude and reasoning. In this class, we'll not be covering aptitude reasoning. For that, a separate training will be organized later on, maybe from January or February. But aptitude, reasoning, verbal ability, that means English, is very, very important for every company. Whether it's a company offering 2 lakhs per annum or a company offering 32 lakhs per annum, whatever it is. But this is very, very essential part. You cannot ignore aptitude, verbal ability, reasoning when you are preparing for any campus recruitment process. And I think you have an idea that maximum rejection, because first round of Almost every company, the first round is this aptitude, verbal ability, etc. And the mass rejection happens in this round. So if you do not make your aptitude, reasoning, verbal ability skills strong, if you do not practice it well, then you will be in trouble. So again, I'm saying I'm not an expert of aptitude or verbal things. For that, a separate training will be organized. But because I'm elaborating the overall campus scenario, it's my duty to make you understand that technical portions which we'll be discussing and covering in this class, that is important. And probably I'm saying this for the first and last time because today is the first day. That's why I'm saying. But equally, you have to give priority to aptitude, verbal ability, English, reasoning, etc. Sometimes in few company we see nowadays game-based aptitude. It's not numerical aptitude always. Most of the time we see numerical aptitude, but now the pattern of the aptitude for few companies has changed. It's no more numerical aptitude. They say it's a gamified assessment or game-based aptitude. So different pattern of questions. The question pattern has changed a lot from company to company, and you have to take care of everything. That is the first thing. Secondly, because you are all from CSE, not even if you're not from CSE, if it's EC background, electrical background, whichever is the background you are from, if you're appearing for a software company, again, whether it's a startup company, whether it's a big MNC, it's a product-based company, it's a service-based company, whatever it is, if you're appearing for any campus process of any software company, programming or coding is essential. Without programming or coding, it is very difficult for you to qualify. Even if you are a CSC candidate and if you feel that your programming skill is not that much improved or you're not that skilled enough, it's high time, though I'll be guiding through in this training, but it's high time that you start focusing on it. Again, whether it's a company offering a very low compensation package, salary compensation, or it's offering a very huge salary compensation, whatever it is, without programming and coding skill in the campus recruitment process, it is very difficult to sustain, right? Now, as far as the programming and coding is concerned, which language we'll be using for the programming, it's entirely up to you. In the recruitment process, the company is very flexible. They will not force you to use C language or Java or Python or C++ or anything. Nowadays, these rounds are always online. So there is an online compiler. They will give a problem. They will give the constraint. They will give the inputs output format. They will give some sample test cases, some examples that given an input, what is the output. So basically they will give the problem description, the program question in details they will provide. You have to understand and you have to logically derive the solution of that problem. You have to write the program. And for that, you can use any language. You can use any language that you are comfortable with. If you feel that I comfortable with working with C, you use C for coding. If you feel that you are comfortable to work with Java or Python or C++, any language that you feel confident and comfortable, you code with that language. So my suggestion is not that you need to learn many languages, though learning many things, new things, skilling up yourself is good. I'm not discouraging that. But what I'm encouraging more is that you are learning 5, 6 different languages, which is good. But when a problem is given to you, even learning so many languages, if you cannot solve the problem, then there is no point of learning so many languages. You focus on only one language or two languages. It's up to you which one you will be taking. It's up to your knowledge, your confidence level that you are comfortable to work with. You're up to your understanding that I'll be using C language or I'll be using Python, whichever as per your choice. And you decide that I'll be focusing on these language only. I'll be using this language as a tool to solve the problem. That's it. So more than learning too many languages, though again I'm saying learning many things is good thing. but learning so many things, involved in so many things, but ultimately could not solve a problem even after learning so many things, it has no meaning. So first, be confident on one or two language, and then if you have any wish, you go ahead and learn others. As far as the campusing is concerned, campus recruitment process is concerned, how many languages you know, that is immaterial. Whatever you know, but that through which you can deliver the solution, that is the most important, right? Now up to you which language will be taking. I have nothing to say on that, right? But you should give more focus on logical development of the solution. That is what my suggestion is, right? So first I said aptitude reasoning is important. Second, programming coding skill is important. And which language will be using for programming or coding, it's up to you. Companies are open to accept any language which are popular, right? It's not that if you're using Python, you'll be getting more mileage than you are getting C if you're using C, right? You will get equal marks if your solution is correct, irrespective of which language you are using. Okay. Third, when after if you qualify these aptitude, coding, etc. rounds, sometimes there is a communication assessment for few companies. So those who feel that they are somehow lagging in communication, they should work on it. I'm not an expert to guide. For verbal ability and everything, a separate training will be done where you can put your questions. But communication and good positive attitude is very important nowadays. Companies look for. Even if there is no communication round, there is an interview. There will be interview round for every company, face-to-face interview. Sometimes there is one round of interview, sometimes two rounds of interview, sometimes three rounds of interview. It varies company to company, but more or less aptitude, programming, communication, interview. This is the general pattern of any recruitment process. You start with TCS to Deloitte, Capgemini to Accenture, to any company, right? You take example. In every case, this is the general guidelines, general processes which you need to go through. Okay. In the interview, few things you need to keep in mind. First of all, while you're applying for any company, because when the campus notices will be served to you, sometimes you need to apply and register. Sometimes you don't need to apply, you need to directly visit and appear for the campus. So it depends. So whatever it is, if you are appearing in any interview, you should have a very strong CV, a very good CV rather. Now, when talking about good CV, what do I mean? Do I mean that it should be a good design? I have nothing to say about the design. Lot of CV design templates are available. If you Google it, lot of things are available. Whichever you prefer, which looks over, you can use it. I have nothing to say on design. But I have to say few things. That is, whatever you are putting in your CV, you should be very confident if you have been asked questions from any portions which you have mentioned in the CV. Whether it's a technical subjects, your project work, your certification, or some non-technical things like your hobbies and etc. Whatever you are putting, you should be very clear that if I'm writing this one and if I face some questions from there, so that I should be able to answer. For example, I have seen students write used to write hobby, uh, and if some questions related to their hobbies are getting asked in the interview, sometimes I've seen that some students could not answer. Say playing music or playing cricket or surfing internet, many hobbies a person may write, and they may certainly ask anything. যেমন আমি দেখেছি স্টুডেন্ট লিখেছে হচ্ছে যে singing song is their hobby. That's a good thing. And in the interview, immediately interviewer said at the very beginning, sing a song for me. It happened. Or playing guitar, interviewer said, play a guitar for me. Mainly when the interview is online, because for the last 2 3 years after COVID, Maximum companies having online recruitment. So you need to appear from your home. So the guitar and everything is available at your home. So if you're writing such thing, they may ask you. If you're saying watching movies, so they may ask you what is the last movie I've watched, who is the director, and many other things they may ask. Sometimes in detail and sometimes very casual questions. So what I'm saying that whatever you're writing in your CV, you should be very clear on these things that what to what extent I'll be writing, what I'll be writing, and if anything related to that field is being asked, whether I'm able, confidently able to answer these things or not. Right? There's some non-technical things. Some technical things while you're preparing your CV, you should put as a CSC student at least 2 programming languages. Now, again, which languages you will be putting, it is up to you. But my suggestion is that you should put Java as one of the language because it is object oriented. Now you may say, sir, I can also put Python. Keep Python, I have no issues. If you say, sir, I'll be putting some other object oriented programming, you can keep, I have no issues. But based on the BTech curriculum which we are having, based on BTech curriculum, hello, am I audible? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
So based on the BTech curriculum across the universities in our country which are available, we see that interviewer has a tendency, again, exception is always there, but interviewer has a tendency of asking questions from object-oriented programming, Java, especially Java, etc., because Java has a lot of dynamics. So my suggestion is that you can either put C and Java, or you can put Python or Java, or you can put C++ or Java. Though I'm not saying that even if you're not putting Java, you'll not be selected. That is what I'm not saying. But it's better to put Java because it may happen you have not written Java or any object-oriented program. Why I'm saying Java? Because it's follow OOPS concept. You have not written any object-oriented programming. That does not mean that you will not be facing questions from object-oriented programming, or you will not be facing questions from Java. It's a tendency of the interviewer, particularly for the CSIT EC candidates, that they will ask programming questions from various fields, some non-object oriented programming, some object oriented programming, etc. So my suggestion that you should put one object oriented programming and something else, at least two, at least, that you are comfortable. Now you decide what to put. You can put more than two also if you are comfortable and confident, but at least two is necessary. Programming language is concerned. Coming to the subjects, see, language and subject is not same. C, Java, Python, C, these are all languages. Subjects means data structures, design and analysis of algorithm, etc. Whatever be the company is, 2, 3 subjects are very much essential nowadays. Whether you are writing in the CV or not writing in the CV, doesn't matter. You will be facing questions from there. Either in the MCQ round, you will be facing questions, or in the interview round. What are they? You cannot ignore the first one, which is data structure, the entire data structure. And when I'm talking about data structure, I'm including the programming of the data structure also. And programming means not only the stack, queue, linked list, searching, sorting programs. It includes the programs related to tree, graph, hashing, etc., everything. So thorough understanding and programming of data structure of all the chapters are required. Don't make any suggestion from data structure. We'll be covering some programs and problems, typical problems on data structure in this class also. So data structure is the first thing that no one can ignore. Secondly, database management system, DBMS. And when I'm talking about DBMS, I'm including SQL as well. So DBMS and SQL, second important subject. Third, recently we are seeing a trend that one paper you had, or probably having in this semester, I don't know, that is design and analysis of algorithm. Not the entire design and analysis of algorithm is required, but at least dynamic programming, greedy programming, divide and conquer, and asymptotic notations, complexity analysis. This knowledge is very much important. I repeat, dynamic programming, greedy, divide and conquer, and asymptotic notation for complexity analysis. These understanding is very much important. You may avoid NP hard problem, NP complete problem, and many other portions you can avoid, but these are the portion of design and analysis of algorithm are very important. So these two, three subjects which I have mentioned, algorithms, data structures, and DBMS, SQL, these are primarily very important. Whichever is the company is, whatever their compensation is, whether it's an MNC, whether it's a startup, whatever it is, you cannot ignore these subjects. In addition, there can be many things, but this is the least preparation you should take apart from the programming plus these two, three subjects. Now, being a CSC candidate, I'll suggest two or three more subjects. So these are some primary requirements now. Additional requirements I'll suggest to look into computer networking. That is also important sometimes. And another one is operating system. Now, if I'm talking about operating system, it includes Unix and shell scripting as well. Unix commands and shell scripting as well. I have seen a student has mentioned in the CV operating system as their preferred subject, and they did not face any questions from process management, memory management, disk management, nothing. No theoretical question, no deadlock, nothing. Scheduling deadlock, no questions. They got only questions from Unix and shell scripting. So if any one of you are writing operating system in the CV, please make sure, don't expect that you will only be facing theoretical questions from operating system. You may get questions from Unix commands and shell scripting. And that's why I said that you should make a proper plan when you're preparing your CV. You may change CV from company to company. It's not like one CV you have prepared, you have to use it everywhere. You can change, you can update before applying. But whenever you are applying at that point of time, maybe you must be very careful that what are the subjects I'll be putting in the CV and what are the languages I'll be putting in the CV. At least two languages and two subjects. I mentioned total 5, 6 subjects: data structure, algorithm, DBMS, networking, operating system, Unix. I mentioned all such things, but at least mention two or maximum three subjects. It's more than enough that you are really confident. But don't expect that whatever you have mentioned in the CV, the questions will be coming from there only and nowhere from else. No, it's up to the interviewer. It's up to the requirement of their business. They may ask you anything, right? But even they can start asking you from microprocessor. They can start asking you from digital circuits or say software engineering. They may, maybe in very rare case we have seen, but we have seen it is happening. But mostly we see that these are the 5, 6 subjects from where either in the form of MCQ or in the form of or in the interview we are facing questions. So when I'm talking about it's a high time to start your preparation, and that's why I said that's not only you need to start preparing now, you should make a proper plan how to prepare. And for that, should have a clear understanding that what are the things you need to look into. Aptitude is something, programming coding practice is something. These are the subjects that I talked. These are the some things where you don't need to go for any suggestion. You have to, at least for these 5, 6 subjects, you have to go through all the details, theoretical details, programming details, DBMS, SQL, Unix, DBMS, networking, operating system, 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 Unix, DBMS, networking, Hello, am I audible now? Actually, my network dropped for a minute. Hello.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Okay. So what I was saying, maybe I'm talking much today. This is the first interaction. You are thinking, "Sir, এত কেন বকবক করছে?" But I'll not be repeating all these things. It's my duty to make you aware. Some of you are maybe aware of these things, but still take a very clear picture that what you are going to face after 8 9 months. Rather, and what I said initially, yes, market is the key thing. If the market is good, ample opportunities will come to you. Competition will be everywhere, every time, but the situation will be easier. I will not be said the situation will be very easy to get a job. But if the market is very tough, like this year, where most of the companies are not opening up, in this case, obviously the situation is very difficult. The heat of the competition is more. Competition is everywhere, every time. Even if the market is very flourishing at that point of time, isn't there any competition? Obviously, there is. No one is going to leave their own place. Everyone will fight to get a job whenever a good opportunities will come. So you also you all individual need to make a fight. None of your classmates or batchmates will, leave their own place for you. And when a company visits, they come with some requirements in their mind. If they plan to recruit n number of students from a campus drive, and if they sees at the end of the day they are not getting good student as per their requirement, they will not come. They will go to some other institute and take good students. Every institute is having good students, right? And that's why I'm saying the competition is everywhere. It's not that if I've decided to recruit 10 students from here or 50 students from here, I'm not bound to recruit 10 or 50 students. If I see I get only 2 or 5 candidates who are suitable for my requirement, as per my requirement, then I'll take the 2 or 5. I'll not take 50. I'll visit some other institute to recruit students. So it's not that a competition within your own class. It's a competition with all the students will be appearing in the campus drive. Because if the X company is visiting in our campus, X company will go to other college also for the recruitment. X company will visit 10 other colleges for recruitment. And wherever he will find the more suitable candidates, will be taking them. Right? So the competition is not only within GSU students, the competition with all the students who in the 4th year, whenever a company visits. And that's why I'm saying market scenario is good, market scenario is bad. This is a relative thing. Even in this worst situation, students are not getting job. Maybe this time very less numbers because of this recession and all. Even some students of GSU got placed. Few students of GSU already got placed. How did they? Because they were prepared, they were confident, most importantly, when they were appearing in the campus drive. And you can gain more confidence if you are preparing and practicing well. Yes, I do agree that sometimes luck also favors. But if your preparation is consistent, whatever be the market scenario, maybe you're not getting in the first day, not second day, not third day, not fourth day, but in the fifth or sixth opportunity, you'll certainly be getting. So my suggestion is that whatever time you're having in your hand, don't waste from now onwards. You're already in the third of, rather middle of the third year, right? And if it starts from August, September, or whatever be the time, if it starts, it will start suddenly. It's not that before 1 month we'll be getting notice that from this week the campus will start. No, maybe before 2 or 3 days we'll be getting the notification from college that this company will be conducting campus drive. So if you wait for the last moment, then it will be very difficult for you, because if the market opens up, all the good companies will be recruiting in the first half. First half means in the first quarter. If the recruitment starts from August, July, or September onwards, from then onwards, the good companies will be coming. So if you're not prepared enough by that time, if you realize, okay, in the month of August or September, if you realize that, okay, I'm lagging in this part and I have to, practice more on this, or I'm lagging on that part, I have to practice more on that. By the time you do practice, maybe within that 2 3 months, most of the big opportunities are gone. And once the opportunities are gone, they will never return back. If TCS comes or Capgemini comes, they have recruited, they will again never again come back to your campus for the recruitment, right? So that is what I'm saying. If you start preparing now, so the initial campuses, whichever you will be having, because initial campusings, initial opportunities are quite good, and the compensations are quite good enough. So that will help you. Unless and until luck favors in that level, without preparation, it will be very difficult. Accept. Okay. So this is the overall view, and this is the overall view. And maybe I talked so much, but again, I said all this is neither to discourage you, not to demotivate you, not to make you afraid. ভয় পাওয়ানোর জন্য আমি কাউকে বলছি না। আমি বলছি যাতে একটু সিরিয়াস হয়ে আগামী দিনে যে কটা টাইম, যেটুকু টাইম তোমরা পাচ্ছ হাতে, you can fully utilize this time. That's why I'm saying all these things. I hope that you will take sincerely all these things, uh, and eventually will work hard. In this training session, what I'll be doing now, let me tell you. In this training session, whatever subjects I have said for the recruitment purpose, and most of these subjects are already there in your curriculum, will be highlighting different problems of these topics which are relevant for the campus drive. যেমন প্রত্যেকে ডেটা স্ট্রাকচার পড়েছো, প্রত্যেকে সি প্রোগ্রামিং, জাভা প্রোগ্রামিং পড়েছো বা পড়ছো, but what kind of problems come, whether it's an MCQ problem, whether it's a program writing problem, what kind of problems comes, how to address that problem, what are the resources you can use for practicing. These are the things we'll be covering here. We are not going to cover any hi-fi technologies here, let me be very clear. But whatever is important, relevant for the campus drive, we'll be restricting ourselves for that area only, right? This training is for that. Okay. So uh, with that note, we'll be concluding now. So if you have any query, today I did not take anything related to the course. From the next week, okay, from the next week, let me tell you, from the next week, we'll start with the questions related to the C programming. Everyone knows C programming. Again, I'm saying programming is just a tool. If you're not comfortable with C, you can use some other language to work with. But sometimes some MCQ type of questions may come, and for that, everything you need to look into. I'll be taking questions from you, those who have raised hand or written in the chat. But let me take 1 minute more, and then I'll be taking your question. So from the next week, I'll be, covering some of the questions using C programming, right? Some MCQ and some programming, etc. And then we'll be covering up slowly other topics also. And as I said, probably 2 or 3 maximum day will be getting in this semester. And after once your semester gets over, by the way, when the Jishu semester examination is starting, anyone?
So first week of December.
Date, exact date you have received?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. And what is the expected completion of your semester examination, expected date?
So before 25th or
Before
20th.
25th. Anyway, so whatever is the last date, it after that, because normally the after semester examination, there will be a holiday for a few days. Normally, uh, the class starts from 2nd or 3rd week of January, whatever it is, the notification will be getting from your college, but will be not be, will our class will not be stopped. Once your examination is over, maybe by 20th or 25th, whatever it is, after that we'll be having classes online on Saturdays, right? So it's not that after semester examination, what the holidays for 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks that we'll be getting, this training will be stopped at that point of time. It's not like that. We'll be continuing. Anyway, so that is all from my end today. Just an introductory class with all of you. So from the next week, we'll be starting with some programming questions. Okay. Now let us take some questions raised in the chat box. ওকে, গোপাল বলছে স্যার অ্যাটলিস্ট কত সিজিপি ইম্পর্টেন্ট একটা ভালো প্যাকেজের জন্য। সিজিপিএ ইজ নট অ্যাট অল ইম্পর্টেন্ট, লেট মি ভেরি ক্লিয়ার। CGPA class 10 marks, class 12 marks is important to be eligible for any campus drive. Most of the big MNCs keep 60% all through. So the 10, 12 BTech 60% all through to be eligible in campus drive. বেশিরভাগ ক্ষেত্রে এরকম না যে 60% ছাড়া হয় না, তাও নয়। কখনো কখনো আমরা দেখি 70% অল থ্রু ও চায়, ঠিক আছে। সো বিটেক এর সিজিপিএ মোটামুটি সবারই 7.8 ইত্যাদি থাকে। সো বিটেক এর সিজিপিএ এর জন্য খুব একটা ট্রাবল কারোর হয় না। অনেকে 10-12 এর মার্কস একটু কম থাকে, স্পেশালি দোজ হু আর বিলো 60%, for them it will be trouble for some companies, in fact in many companies, because 60% all through is a standard criteria for almost, not all, but almost all companies. Yes, sometimes as I said, the criteria can be 70%, 75%, that is also very rare, but 60% all through is a standard criteria. So what you are actually getting for CGPA, I have seen a 9-pointer did not get a job, but a 7-pointer got a job first. It may happen. So CGPA will not help you to secure a job, but yes, you should have a good CGPA to be eligible in any campus drive. That is most important. But one thing, because you asked about BTech CGPA, backlog may put you trouble. Many companies do not allow backlog. If you are having any backlog, if you have cleared it before the campus, well, that is not an issue. But before campus, if you could not complete any backlog, it is still you're having backlog in any paper. Sometimes in few campus drives, you may not be allowed. Backlog may put you in trouble. Okay. Achha. Anyone, any other query? No, I don't see any other query. Aditya.
হ্যালো স্যার,
হ্যাঁ বলো
Am
বলো
I
বলো।
audible?
হ্যাঁ, you're audible, you say, tell me.
বলছি যে স্যার, অ্যাজ এ মানে ফ্রেশার অ্যাপ্লিক্যান্ট, বলছি আমাদের সিভিতে কি ধরনের প্রজেক্ট থাকা উচিত, মানে যদি আমাদের কোনো এক্সপিরিয়েন্স না থাকে, মানে কর্পোরেট এক্সপিরিয়েন্স না থাকে বা ইন্টার্নশিপের এক্সপিরিয়েন্স না থাকে।
বলছি corporate experience or job experience that you will not be eligible, because this drives is for freshers. Internship is a separate thing. If you are doing internship anywhere, you can mention in the CV as intern. That is not a job experience. Employee and intern, or employment and internship, these two things are different. So internship, if you have done, you can mention, but even if anyone of doing any freelancing or any part-time job, don't mention it. Your candidature will be cancelled, because these opportunities are mainly for the freshers. Number one. Number two, কি ধরনের project থাকে এটা আমি একটু বলে দিই। You decide what projects you can keep. I can suggest some of the domains. For the CSE people, lot of domains are available. You can explore. Number one, it can be related to recently hot topics are full stack web development. Lot of divisions of full stacks nowadays are having, starting from ordinary HTML, CSS, Java, .NET framework to latest, you can say our uh, Node.js, AngularJS, lot of things are involved nowadays. So full stack web development can be one way. Android app development can be another option. Third domain can be, if you have interest in mathematics, statistics, then topics related to, machine learning, deep learning, uh, data science. This can be another path or another option. Projects related to these fields can be done. Another option can be, if you are interested in networking, then networking, cybersecurity, cloud computing, certification of cloud like AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft, any certification, and some projects related to these, or cybersecurity based projects. These are very important. This is another path. So different paths, different sectors are available. If you are interested, you can also go for big data or say NoSQL database like MongoDB, graph-based database like Neo4j. So variety domains are available. I can only suggest some, interesting and leading domains.
স্যার বলছি
Now, it
মোটামুটি
is
কিরকম
you-
রেঞ্জ থাকতে হয় মানে হচ্ছে প্রজেক্ট গুলোর রেঞ্জ
Range
বলতে
বলতে?
রেঞ্জ বলতে ধরুন একটা ফুল স্ট্যাক রয়েছে বা আমি সেকেন্ড ধরুন 5টা প্রজেক্ট দেখাবো আমি, তো সেটার রেঞ্জ মানে ভ্যারাইটিটা যাতে কি কি
না,
কাজ
আমি
করেছি
আবারও
সেটা
বলছি, তুমি একটা প্রজেক্ট কি খুব এলাবোরেটলি ভালো করে করতে পারো, দ্যাট ইজ মোর দ্যান এনাফ। আবার তুমি 5টা প্রজেক্টও দেখাতে পারো সেম ডোমেনে বা ডিফারেন্ট ডোমেনে। তুমি যেটুকু
আচ্ছা।
দেখাবে সেটুকু ব্যাপারে তুমি যেন খুব টেকনিক্যালি ক্লিয়ার থাকো। আমি এটাই
কারণ
বলবো।
স্যার পার্সোনালি বলছি, কারণ মানে অলমোস্ট আমরা প্রি ফাইনাল ইয়ারে আছি, তো প্রজেক্ট বানানো স্টার্ট করে দিয়েছি। তো এবার
হুম।
প্রবলেম সলভিং এও টাইম দিতে হবে, আবার প্রজেক্টের জন্য ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল যে কম্পোনেন্ট বা যে টেকনিক্যাল জিনিসগুলো লাগবে
অ্যাটলিস্ট
ধরুন
তুমি
কোনো
যে ডোমেনে প্রজেক্ট করছো সেই ডোমেনে অ্যাটলিস্ট একটা প্রজেক্ট খুব ভালো করে, সেটা যতটা স্কেলে তুমি করতে পারো, খুব লার্জ স্কেলে করতে পারলে খুব ভালো হয়। যতটা সম্ভব সেটুকু তুমি ডেমনস্ট্রেট করতে পারো।
ঠিক আছে স্যার।
আর now which domain you will be choosing, it's up to you. তোমার ইন্টারেস্টের উপর ডিপেন্ড করছে। আমি কতগুলো ডোমেন তোমাকে সাজেস্ট করতে পারি। সবাইকে যে একই ডোমেনে করতে হবে তার কোনো মানে নেই। বা আমি যদি ফুল স্ট্যাকে করি, মেশিন লার্নিং এ না পড়ি, আমি যে কম মাইল নয়। It's up to you which domain you will be choosing. Anything else? Anyone? Anyway, so this was the first class. যদি কারো কোনো কোয়েরি থাকে, আমরা নেক্সট ডে থেকে এইসব বকবক করবো না। নেক্সট ডে থেকে আমরা মেনলি পড়াশোনার দিকেই যাবো। তো নেক্সট উইক স্যাটারডে এগেন সেম টাইম 11:45 এ আমরা আবার মিট করবো, আমাদের আবার ক্লাস হবে। ওকে, এনি কোয়েরি এনিওয়ান? নো? Okay, so you can leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.